think something like 90% of us are not self-aware. When I used to hear self-awareness, I think a lot of people think, oh yeah, I know myself. Yes, I know myself, but that's not true. You don't know yourself. The version of you that you think you are is the most biased version. Once you can smell your own bullshit, you can kind of start to smell other people's bullshit too. By looking at somebody who's doing something wrong, you kind of put yourself in their shoes like, oh my gosh, I used to do that too. Then you start to recognize the flaws, like what I'm doing wrong in my life. And then even when somebody else does it wrong, we don't see it until we practice putting ourselves in their shoes, right? When you practice self-awareness, you can use that skill in two ways. One, actually for you to learn the lesson yourself. And then two, you can teach the lesson to somebody else by putting yourself in that person's shoes. Pay attention to the moment when someone did something wrong. In a situation where you're like, oh, you should do it like this, but this person did it like that, or this person told me to do this, or they were wrong and I was right. Whenever you're in that situation, try to go back in your past and think of a moment when you did the same thing that that person did. Share in your small group meeting a moment when you were right and someone else was wrong. And then another moment when you did the same thing as them. And then let that kind of start the conversation and then figure out what is the lesson that you learn from this. Begin each day by telling yourself, today I shall be meeting with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness. All of them due to the offender's ignorance of what is good or evil. But for my part, I have long perceived the nature of good and its nobility, the nature of evil and its meanness, and also the nature of the culprit itself. Who is my brother, not in the physical sense, but as a fellow creature similarly endowed with reason and a share of the divine. Therefore, none of those things can injure me, for nobody can implicate me in what is degrading. Neither can I be angry with my brother or fall foul of him. For he and I were born to work together, like a man's two hands, feet, or eyelids, or the upper and lower rows of his teeth. To obstruct each other is against nature's law. And what is irritation or aversion but a form of obstruction? Thank you, everyone. I hope you guys all go to small group meeting and share your stories, and also share it on Circle. I'll read through them again this week. Have a great week. Have a great meeting, and I'll see you all next Sunday.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Bye, all.
Cheers,
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, Nation.
Bye-bye.